Peace, everybody, and welcome back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. Tonight, I want to bring to you one of our favorite coons, one of our favorite buck dancing Negroes here on YouTube, and that's this clown here, Officer Tatum. Now, about 3 years ago, Officer Tatum did a live stream and he talked about the McMichaels. You know, the McMichaels who murdered Mr. Arbery. I mean, cold blood. Him. Well, Officer Tatum here did a live stream about it, and he talked about how the McMichaels were innocent of murdering Mr. Arbery. So what I want to do, I want to play a short clip of what this clown had to say about the McMichaels and the Ahmaud Arbery case.
You have a right to carry a shotgun next to your side. And if you feel intimidated by a person in Georgia with a gun next to their side, that's your problem. That ain't got nothing to do with the law. And if a man fights you for his gun, for your gun, what do? You defend yourself. So if you ask me, according to the law, I think that the McMichaels would get off because they're not proven proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's my opinion. It had nothing to do with black, white, green, or indifferent. It has everything to do with the law. And according to the law, and y'all can watch my other video where I break it down, I show the video and everything. I walk you through step by step, and it actually went viral. So you can go back and look at it if you want to match the video with what I'm saying. But I think there's an articulable fact pattern that will lead them to not be guilty. However, because it's politically charged, I can see them charging them anyway. You know, and it's sad, but that's the way it is.
So what this coon is saying is because Ahmaud Arbery is black and the McMichaels are white, they would just go ahead on and charge them anyway because the world is seeing it as a racial thing. Now, what this clown failed to remind everyone is that it was a cover up from the very beginning. In the Ahmaud Arbery case, they tried to cover it up in the beginning. I think it was the DA who was friends with one of the McMichaels because the father McMichael was a former police officer, and he knew someone down in the DA office somewhere down there, and they tried to cover it up at first. It was a whole year before the video even came out as to what happened. But anyway, so as we can see here, we have Koooon Tatum, who is windmilling for the McMichaels against a black man, Ahmaud Arbery. And of course, we all know that the McMichaels were found guilty, and that other dude, their running mate, their clown, Roddy, whatever his name was, he was also found guilty. And so again, this clown, Officer Tatum, was wrong in his assessment about the McMichaels murdering Ahmaud Arbery. He was totally wrong. So fast forward to today. He is now talking about the case between Carmelo Anthony and the white boy who got stabbed to death because he decided to put his hands on Mr. Anthony. So now he's talking that BS again about how this black man, this brother, is guilty. See, again, when it was McMichaels was innocent. You know, he like he said, he did a whole rundown of how Ahmaud Arbery was going into the vacant home, how he was stealing stuff and how people were putting up cameras and reporting him to the police and how the McMichaels were on guard for him and all this old BS, right? Come to find out the brother never stole anything. Yeah, he went into the abandoned place or whatever. But he never stole anything. And then the McMichaels ran him down, ended up killing him with a shotgun. So, Officer Koooon Tatum had egg all over his face because he was wrong. I mean, he did a whole segment, a whole breakdown, step by step, of why the McMichaels, white people, should have been found innocent against a black man, McMichaels. So again, now fast forward 3.5, 4 years, he is now talking about Carmelo Anthony and how Carmelo Anthony should be found guilty. So let's take a look and see what this clown has to say about this case, which once again he's going to be proven wrong. But let's listen to what this coon has to say.
Thing that I've seen this week is them raising $150,000+ for a young man who killed another young man. The person who did the killing, people are feeling sorry for him and raising money for him.
So I just want to talk about this situation.
Now, before we get into this, young sister, and I apologize for interrupting you there, sister, but how many white men have, and I'm talking about police officers, I'm talking about civilians who have killed black people and have gotten millions of dollars in support from GoFundMe? So, I mean, I don't know what Officer Tatum is trying to prove here, because black people are trying to help black people. That's a problem. Because he doesn't have a problem when it's white people supporting white people on GoFundMe. White police officer who murdered people unarmed. The McMichaels who had killed a black man who was unarmed. He don't have any problems with Kyle Rittenhouse getting GoFundMes. But all of a sudden now he has a problem with black people supporting black people on GoFundMe and beyond.
Right here. There's people on Twitter and Facebook everywhere trying to get his GoFundMe reported shut down because we as a people don't feel as it's right what they're doing to this young black man right here. Keep advocating, keep doing y'all lives, keep reposting, and keep doing what y'all doing. This baby is gonna come home no matter what, and he's gonna have the best legal team to get him home safely as well. They trying to get this boy under the jail, destroying his reputation and everything, trying to make it seem like he a thug. This child is a 3.7 GPA student, had 21 football scholarships and everything. He had friends and family, all of that. This boy had something to lose. Learn to keep your hands to yourself and you're on FAFO, period.
If there's any human being in the United States of America that deserves presumption of innocence right now today, it has to be Carmelo Anthony. Hands down. He was attacked. There were more of them than him. And his witnesses on their side, plus his brother saying that happened. How is that not self-defense? All right? And then proportional use of force. It wasn't a multiple Pokemon. It was a singular Pokemon and he ran.
It's two men, 200 or more pounds over you. Two of them come and mess with you and you're trying to defend yourself. What are you going to do? You're going to do what Carmelo did. As of right now, the media is trying to do everything in their power to make him seem like he's an evil person. Y'all did not see this man repeatedly. That's my thoughts on this.
Let me show you very clearly why I think this is a problem and why this is a racial issue. If you don't know what I'm talking about the incident that happened at the track meet. Carmelo Anthony, with a K, decided that he was going to stab a kid in a conflict under a tent. There's a few things that we need to talk about here. One, I can legally almost represent this case and show you that Carmelo Anthony will be found guilty. It has nothing to do with his skin color as far as I'm concerned, because I do not care. I'm black, and I got my family white. So I got black and white sides. I don't give a flying flip. What I care about is justice. What I care about what's right. What I care about is the law. And for them to raise $150,000 for this kid is insane to me. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is the racism that's involved in this. Because
So now this coon is trying to say because black people have raised over $100,000, $200,000, whatever the amount is now, this coon is saying because of that, that black people are racist. Because black people supporting black people, in this instance, in this case where Carmelo Anthony defended himself and took out that Metcalf kid, because he did that, Carmelo Anthony and the people who support Carmelo Anthony are racist. Can you believe this coon? But that's what he's saying. Because black people are supporting Carmelo Anthony, another black person, that black people are now racist.
Because if that young black boy would have killed another black boy at a track meet, we wouldn't hear about it.
Also, too, if a white boy had killed that white boy at the track meet, we wouldn't hear about it either. It would have been white on white crime. It would have been swept up under the rug.
There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid. And it's a race war underneath the surface.
No, that's not the reason why. Coon, Officer Tatum. The reason why black people are supporting Carmelo Anthony is because we know that he's innocent. He's an American hero who was protecting himself from two Peckerwoods who were trying to intimidate him to make him leave an area which those two people, those two white boys who walked up to or came over to Carmelo Anthony had no right to tell him that he had to leave. He had no right to, they had no right to tell him that he had to leave. And then when he told him, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to be escorting you off of this planet, one of them decided he's going to go ahead on and try him, and he fucked around and found out. So no, it had nothing to do with black people being racist. Black people are now protecting each other. They're protecting themselves and they're protecting each other, and that scares you. Koooon Tatum, just like it scares white people. They fear that, and you do as well.
Of our country, mostly projected by black people against white folks. So when a black kid do something wrong, black people rally around the kid that did something wrong because they don't want the white boy to be right. They don't want white people to be right. They don't want white people to be on television saying that this black kid is a thug. They don't care that the black kid, I think that some of them do care, but I think that they're avoiding the point that the black kid actually took the life of somebody unnecessarily. Let me give you a couple factors here which would bolster the legal argument that I have. I do believe that Carmelo Anthony will be found guilty if he goes to court. I think he's going to do a plea deal because he knows he's dead to rights. His attorneys know he's dead to rights. According to Texas State Penal Code, he will go to jail and be sentenced probably more harshly than he would if he do a plea deal.
And I don't think he's going to be doing any plea deal because he's not guilty. There's too many witnesses that say that these two white boys stepped to him, trying to intimidate him, trying to get him to leave, the tent. And all he was doing was sitting there. But because he wasn't from their school, I guess they felt they can intimidate him and try to make him leave. And just like Sister Rosa Parks wasn't giving up her seat on the bus, he wasn't giving up his seat up under that tent. And when he told him, don't put your hands on me, because if you do, I'm going to take you out, that's exactly what the white boy did. His white boy put his hands on him, and he took him out. And so now we got people like Officer Koooon Tatum trying to defend the white boy, as usual. Just like I showed you 3 minutes ago in the Ahmaud Arbery case. When Officer Koooon Tatum said the McMichaels were innocent and that the McMichaels were going to go home. And they used to support the McMichaels GoFundMe. All this old BS he was talking about 3.5, 4 years ago. Now all of a sudden he wants to try to say that black people would have to be racist because black people are supporting black people. But he has no problem when white cops, when white civilians kill black people, and they get GoFundMes. He has no problem with that. In fact, he probably donates to those GoFundMes. But now that it's black people supporting black people, he has a problem with it.
I think he's going to do a plea deal, and I think in the plea deal, they're going to give him manslaughter charges, and he's only going to do 5 or 8 years in prison, which is a travesty. If he goes to trial, this is how he loses, unequivocally. In the state of Texas, they charged him with first-degree murder. First-degree murder is when you murder somebody intentionally or knowingly causing the death of another person. That's subsection 1. Subsection 2 is intending to cause serious bodily injury and commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in somebody's death. They got him on the first statute because he knowingly and intentionally decided to poke the boy in the heart with a knife. The second statutory claim here, which they can get him on as well, is intending to cause serious bodily injury. If you didn't intend to kill the guy, but you should know that stabbing somebody in the heart could cause serious damage, serious bodily injury to that person, and is clearly negligent and is dangerous to human life. They got him again. Here's another one. Commit or attempt to commit a felony other than manslaughter during which they perform an act clearly dangerous to human life that causes death. Let me add to how that's a problem. Because carrying a weapon on a school campus is a felony offense. No, it's a misdemeanor offense. Let's go down to the law, because I want y'all to see this very clearly. If you go down to Texas law, it says that it's a knife blade exception, right? If it's 55 inches or shorter, generally speaking, it could be used or be in a public place. However, there is restrictions as to where this can be presented. It says right here, let me go up a little bit. I'll go down here. It says violating these restrictions can lead to criminal charges with penalties varying based on specific circumstances and locations. For instance, carrying a local restricted knife is prohibited in areas generally considered a Class C misdemeanor. And these areas are obviously in sporting events.
Okay, so then let's just say, for argument's sake, Koooon Tatum. At worst, they can get him on a misdemeanor charge for having a knife on school property. That's it. He had the knife. It was concealed carry. He brought the knife for whatever reason. I'm thinking it's probably for self-defense. That's why he had the knife. And good thing that he did have it, because he was able to protect himself. Koooon Tatum would do everything he can on his channel to try to prove this brother as guilty. But when all the facts come out, just like in the Ahmaud Arbery case with the McMichaels, Mr. Koooon Tatum is going to be found out to be wrong again, because he said that the McMichaels were going to get off. That the McMichaels did nothing wrong. That the McMichaels were protecting property on their block. That the McMichaels, that Ahmaud Arbery wouldn't have been dead if he didn't try to attack one of those McMichaels who had the shotgun. He said if he hadn't tried to attack him, he wouldn't be dead. And it's been proven all wrong. Once again, Officer Tatum doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And the scary part about it, this dude was an ex-police officer. That's the scary part about it. So anyway, guys, I wanted to bring a quick story here to you guys about Officer Koooon Tatum, who once again is trying to cape for white people. He caped for the McMichaels. He was wrong. He's caping for this dude here, this Metcalf dude. He's going to be found out to be wrong again. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for coming back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. But before I go, I want to thank Lot for coming through. I want to thank Brother Chaos Rain for coming in as well, and Underrated Darkness. Thank y'all for coming in. Peace, everybody. Take care and be safe. And if you haven't already, watch the replay of this live stream. Peace. Take care and be safe.